Good morning, students. Today we are going to study about strategies for enhancement in food production. Chapter number 9 in NCERT book. Strategies for enhancement in food production. First of all, we will analyze the heading of this lesson. What's the meaning of strategies? Strategies means different methods for enhancement. What is the meaning of enhancement? Increasing. So different methods to increase food production. What are the different methods to increase food production? We are going to study about all these things in this chapter. Why there is a need to increase food production? Because with ever increasing population of the world, enhancement of food production is a major necessity. Biological principles we apply to animal husbandry and also plant breeding. They have a major role in our efforts to increase food production. And new technologies like embryo transfer technology and tissue culture techniques are going to play a very important role in further enhancing food production. So, to feed the ever increasing population, we need more food products. And in this chapter, we are going to study about how to enhance food production under different headings: animal husbandry, plant breeding, single cell proteins, and tissue culture. We will study one by one in detail. First, let us study about animal husbandry. What is animal husbandry? Animal husbandry is an agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock. We care the different animals like buffaloes, cows, pigs, horses, cattle, sheep, camels, goats, etc. And we breed them to get a superior quality offspring. So, animal husbandry is an agricultural practice of breeding and raising livestock. Okay, this animal husbandry not only deals with all these animals, but also it includes poultry and fishery. What is fishery? Rearing, catching, and selling of fishes, mollusks, and crustaceans. What are mollusks? Shelled fishes like oysters. Crustaceans, prawns and crabs are crustaceans. And in animal husbandry, we get many products like milk, egg, meat, wool, silk, and honey. Do you know that 70% of livestock population is in India and China alone? 70% of livestock population is in India and China, but the produce is only 25%. That means the produce per individual is very, very less. So what we have to do? We have to increase the produce. 70% population we have, but only 25% produce we are producing. So nowadays we are using conventional methods. To get more produce, we have to adapt or we have to use new technologies for improvement in quality and productivity. Then only we can get more produce and we can feed the ever increasing population. And we will study about now, we will discuss about dairy farm management. Under animal husbandry, we will study about dairy farm management and poultry farm management. Okay, first, what is dairying? Dairying is the management of animals for milk and its products. Milk products are known as dairy products for human consumption. So, management of animals for getting dairy products for human consumption is called dairying. There are different steps. And also there are different practices in dairy farm management. What are the different practices? What are the steps we have to follow in dairy farm management? First, we have to select a good breed. First step is selection of good breed. We have to select a good breed, and that breed should be resistant to diseases. And after that, we have to house it well. We have to keep it in a clean and hygienic shed, well ventilated shed, and we have to provide adequate water to the cattle, and then we have to maintain them disease free. We have to keep them in a hygienic condition so that they will not be infected with diseases, and we have to feed them in a scientific manner. In scientific manner, we have to give emphasis, special emphasis should be given on quality and quantity of the feed. And then we get milk, and then that milk should be stored hygienically, and also it is transported through vans, and that vans also should be kept in a hygienic manner. And then we have to inspect the animals often. There must be regular inspection of the animals, and we have to keep record of any change in the habit of the animals. We have to keep record. And then it should be that dairy farm should be visited by veterinary doctor regularly. There should be regular visit by veterinary doctors. So we have to follow all these steps. And a new breed of improved cattle you studied in your 9th standard. Do you remember? Yes. Jersey is the new breed of cattle, new breed of improved breed of cattle. Next, we'll study about poultry farm management. What is poultry farm management? First of all, we'll see what is poultry. Poultry is a class of domesticated fowl. We rear in our houses like chick, duck, turkey and geese. They all are poultry. So poultry is the class of domesticated fowl used for food or for their eggs. We get eggs from them, and also we consume this chicken, duck, turkey and geese. And then what are the different important components or steps or practices in poultry farm management? It is same as in dairy farm management. First, we have to select a good breed. It should be resistant to diseases, and we have to house them well, and then we have to give adequate water, and we have to feed them scientifically, and we have to arrange for regular inspection by veterinary doctors, etc., etc. The same practices are applied here also in poultry farm management. What is the new breed of cattle? Yes, Jersey. Here, new breed of poultry is Leghorn. And you might have heard about bird flu virus. I think last month in Kerala also, birds were affected by this flu virus. When the birds are affected by this virus, then it affects the egg and chicken consumption. People they won't eat egg, and also they won't eat chicken when they are affected by this flu. Okay, now next we will study about animal breeding. Shall we move on to animal breeding topic? Okay. What is the need? What is the objective? What is the aim of animal breeding? We breed animals to increase the yield of animals. So, increase the yield of animals, increasing the number of animals, and also increasing the yield of the animals, and improving the desirable qualities of the produce. So, good quality produce we get when we breed animals, and we get a new breed, and from the new breed we get good quality desirable products. You should know, when While studying animal breeding, you should know what is a breed. What is a breed? It's a group of animals related by descent and similar in most characters like general appearance, feature, size, configuration, etc. A group of animals related by descent, they have common ancestors. They have common ancestors and their characters are similar. They are similar in most characters. General appearance is same, features are same, and then size and then configuration, everything is same. Such a group of animals are called breed. In animal breeding, there are two methods of animal breeding. What are they? They are inbreeding and outbreeding. Inbreeding and outbreeding. In breeding, there are two methods of breeding. What is inbreeding? When breeding is between animals of the same breed. What is a breed? We studied just now. And also mating of more closely related individuals within the same breed for 4 to 6 generations. They breed animals between the same breed and also for 4 to 6 generation. That process is known as inbreeding. What is outbreeding? When breeding is done between different breeds. When breeding or crossing is done between different breeds, it is known as outbreeding. There are 3 different types of outbreeding. What are they? They are number 1, outcrossing, crossbreeding, and interspecific hybridization. We will study everything in detail. First, shall we study in detail about inbreeding? Here in inbreeding, we know what is inbreeding. It's a breeding between animals of the same breed. That is very important, same breed. Here in breeding, first we select a superior female and a superior male. What do you mean by superior female? A cow or a buffalo that produces more milk per lactation is a superior female. And what is a superior male? A bull which gives rise to superior progeny offspring. A superior offspring, if a bull gives, then we call that as a superior male. And superior female, it gives more milk. We mate them and we get a new offspring, and that offspring is a result of inbreeding. And there are some advantages and there are some disadvantages of inbreeding. What are the advantages? This inbreeding, it increases homozygosity. It leads to pure line. In heredity chapters, Mendel, he produced this pure line by self-pollinating for 4 or 5 generations. Then he got pure line. Here also, when we mate individuals of the same breed for 4 to 6 generations, then we get pure line. So, it increases pure line. The pure lines, they have homozygosity. And also, it exposes harmful recessive genes that are eliminated by selection. While mating in every generation, what we do, we select the superior ones and we won't select the inferior ones. Those who are having very good characters we select, and then we mate them and we get the best one, and again in that generation also we select only the superior ones. So in this way the harmful recessive genes are eliminated, but it leads to accumulation of superior genes and elimination of less desirable genes. And also inbreeding, it increases productivity also. Now let us study about the disadvantages of inbreeding. What are the disadvantages? When we continuously inbreed, for 4 to 6 generations, what will happen? It leads to inbreeding depression. What is inbreeding depression? Due to inbreeding depression, fertility will be reduced and even productivity also will be reduced. Continued inbreeding usually reduces fertility and even productivity, and this is known as inbreeding depression. This inbreeding depression is not an advantageous character, so we have to eliminate. We want to come out of this depression. How to overcome this inbreeding depression in cattle? We can mate this inbreeding depressed cattle with unrelated superior animals of the same breed. In inbreeding we studied, we mate animals within the same breed and they have common ancestor. But here unrelated, only one mating is done between unrelated superior animals of the same breed, then this inbreeding depression will be eliminated, that character will be eliminated, and this process is known as outcrossing. So we can overcome inbreeding depression by outcrossing. What is outcrossing? Mating with unrelated superior animals of the same breed but unrelated animal. We will mate the animals with unrelated animals of the same breed. In this way we can overcome inbreeding depression. Our next topic is outbreeding. What is outbreeding? Already we studied. Outbreeding is the breeding of the unrelated animals, which may be unrelated animals and which may be between the individuals of the same breed. Here comes the outcrossing. Individuals of the same breed but unrelated animals. They having no common ancestors for 4 to 6 generations. That is known as outcrossing. And the second type of outbreeding is between different breeds. That is known as crossbreeding. Or breeding between different species is known as interspecific hybridization. So these are the 3 types of outbreeding. We'll study one by one. First, we'll study about outcrossing. Already we studied outcrossing and inbreeding. And then the offsprings of outcrossing are known as outcross. And then animals that are below average in milk production are done outcrossing. We do outcrossing for animals that have below average in milk production, and also if their growth rate is less, that time also we do outcrossing. And then already we know that single outcross helps to overcome inbreeding depression. The offsprings of outcrossing are known as outcross. And then this method is done for animals that are below average in milk production and also their growth rate in beef cattle. And then single outcross helps to overcome inbreeding depression. Now, shall we move on to crossbreeding? Crossbreeding is breeding between animals of different breeds. First we select one superior male of one breed and the superior female of another breed. We mate them and we get a new hybrid. And then this crossbreeding, it allows desirable qualities of 2 different breeds to be combined. So the desirable characters of this breed and also the desirable character of this breed will be combined in the hybrid. The progeny hybrid animals are used for commercial production. Mainly this progeny are used for commercial production. And then they inbreed the progeny and develop a superior new stable breeds. See, they get this hybrid, and these hybrids are, that is progeny. These two we mate and then we get a progeny, and the progenies are undergone inbreeding, and then this inbreeding for 4 or 5 or 6 generation they inbreed the progeny and they get a new stable breed, just like a pure line. Okay, examples are Bicanary eves are mated with merino rams and they get a hybrid, that is new breed Hisardale. It's a new breed because mating is done between two breeds, different breeds. This Bicanary eves and merino rams are different breeds of sheep in Punjab. And then next crossbreeding is interspecific hybridization. Here in interspecific hybridization, breeding is done between male and female animals of two different related species, two different species. And the progeny has, like here crossbreeding, the progeny has desirable features of both the parents. A good example is donkey, male donkey is mated with female horse and we get mule. Mule is a new breed. And we'll see about the advantages of the mule. The mules, they are more advantageous than horses as well as donkeys. What are the different advantages of mule? They do not overeat. They do not overeat. They eat less. And then they live longer than horses. They have good sense of self-protection. And then no need of shoeing. So these are the advantages of mule. And then other examples for interspecific hybridization are zebra crossed with donkey, we get zonkey. And zebra crossed with horse, we get zors. And lioness crossed with leopard, we get lepon. These are the different breeds of interspecific hybridization. Next class, we will study about the controlled breeding experiments by artificial insemination. We will see in the next video. Thank you, children.